Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rebellion, and we're counting down the days to Star Wars The Force Awakens, and we're taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series. And this is a Target exclusive that was kind of an ordeal to pick up, but that's a story for a little bit. The 2-pack is Poe Dameron and First Order Riot Control Stormtrooper. When this originally came out, it's only been out probably a month now. I've been so slow at getting this, the Star Wars stuff reviewed. The trailer, the newest trailer, or the final trailer, I think there was a TV spot that had come out after the final trailer. We really hadn't seen many other variations of Stormtroopers very close, let alone what the Riot Trooper was going to look like. And I believe at the time, when ODC reviewed this 2-pack, he was still unsure how the baton worked, or kind of, you know, how the Riot Troopers were going to function. And then the TV spot came out, and we saw that the First Order has means to be able to deflect and potentially defeat a Jedi or someone with a lightsaber. So that's pretty cool, and it's the baton is electrified. So I've always been somebody that my favorite character in Star Wars, somebody's asked, I always say Stormtrooper, and they're like, no, who's a real character? I love all the Stormtroopers, the Clone Troopers, the Riot Troopers, the Shock Troopers, Sand Troopers, any type of trooper I've always really enjoyed. I just gravitated towards them, and I loved seeing just a whole army of them. So I've been trying to pick up as many different variations of the troopers as I can, and then just the standard Stormtroopers, so I can just have a little army build. So my next favorite character, I always liked Palpatine. The Emperor, I just thought he was cool, evil, wicked, and twisted. My favorite hero is Mace Windu, and of course I like Luke Skywalker and all of them. I digress. I just love the whole Star Wars franchise. This is the first non-villain or hero of the Black Series that I picked up. So Poe is the first one that I own here, and only just because he happens to be in this 2-pack. I would have loved there to be 2 Riot Troopers. Not that I don't like Poe or anything, but like I've said before, it's interesting and odd to review something that we don't know much about. I haven't watched any of the TV spots really, other than if I was flipping through channels and I saw one, I kind of turn it really quick. So I've seen a couple little beats, but I want to go into this really fresh. So having things to say about some of the Force Awakens characters, I won't have much to say because I don't know much, and I enjoy that. I do want to get Finn. There's a joke going on amongst us in the Rogue Show, and just I think everybody that collects the Black Series figures, Finn is everywhere. So when people are looking for Captain Phasma or Shock Troopers, hey, there's 15 Finns on the peg, and everybody's like, no! Not that we don't like Finn, but there's just so many Finns. You think, just turn half of those into other figures that we want. I'm digressing too much. There's no number on the side here. Up at the top, it'd be like 01, 02, 03, you know, whatever. Since this is an exclusive, there's no number marking other than right here it says B4 047. So I guess that's some type of numerical system. We have the back read up. It says Poe Dameron. An ace pilot, Poe Dameron is the leader of the Resistance, and that's kind of cool. It's not rebellion, it's Resistance. Fight against the evil First Order. He soars into battle behind the controls of a modern X-Wing fighter that we've seen in the trailers that he is painted black, or it is painted black for him. We don't know. Maybe it'll say. It says on the Stormtrooper, the First Order Riot Control Stormtrooper, it says, armed with the specialized weapons, the First Order Riot Trooper Stormtroopers are trained subdue crowds in the most ruthless, efficient manner possible. I really like it. I would love to, army build Riot Troopers, or have a couple, but I would, if I bought 5 of these, I would have 5 Poes, and I would have to try and give Poes away. Nobody wants a Poe. Okay, maybe somebody wants a Poe. I'm rattled on here long enough. Let's get this out of package, and we will continue the countdown to Star Wars The Force Awakens. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, here's the First Order Riot Trooper and Poe Dameron. Dameron? I haven't heard his last name spoken that much. Poe, we'll just call him. I believe this is probably his normal out of flight suit clothes that he wears. I don't have the Finn figure here, and I was trying to look online. I believe this is kind of the same jacket Poe wears, or Finn wears. So I don't know if he gets this from Poe, or maybe the Resistance, this is their outfit, and once Finn joins, just kind of watching the trailer, trying to figure out when the TIE Fighter crashes on Jakku, where Finn gets his jacket and all that stuff, how that all, figures in. But anyway, I'm digressing and talking about something I really know nothing about. And again, I'm glad that I have not spoiled myself with the Force Awakens. I'm not sure which figure to do. The Stormtrooper is, we'll save Poe for last here. The Trooper fan in me wants to have the Trooper be last, but it's the exact same figure that has already been released. The only thing that is different is the Riot gear that he comes with. He comes with a blaster, so I could put the blaster in the other hand that he could fire and have the blaster at the same time. He just come with the other small blaster like he normally did, but has the baton here and the shield. I was messing with the shield. It does come off, but it's a pain to put this thing off and on. So I'm just going to keep it on just for the sake of the review. But it does it spins around and does slide, just pulling it off and on. So it comes off, I should say fairly easy, but it was just kind of a pain to try and get it back on. And then for the review, I was like, great, now I'm not going to be able to get this thing back on. What I miss and what I would love to do is for them to do an accessories pack. Remember with the G.I. Joes, and I think they might have done it with a few Star Wars packs way back in the day, that you could get accessories. You get other guns. Maybe you lost the blaster rifle for a G.I. Joe figure. I remember getting them more for them. But I would love an accessory pack. If you want to turn all your current Stormtroopers into Riot Troopers, you could do so just by buying a pack. As much as I like the Poe figure, I would have liked 2 Stormtroopers in that pack. That would have been really nice to have, and I would have been perfectly fine with that. So I'm not going to go over the Stormtrooper too much. You can go back to Rob's Rebellion #1, where I review the First Order Stormtrooper. You've kind of seen everything here. Here is the baton, which does come off here. So you kind of see the red in there, and I believe that's probably where the electricity, or where it's electrified to be able to kind of shock the crap out of the Resistance soldiers. And so the trigger finger is there for the blaster, which does kind of make it a little tough to hold the baton in there, because he's not gripping the other end of it with one finger. But I get that. If I wanted to not have the baton and put the blaster in, I could do so. And there's the shield. It's kind of a kind of concave right there. So very cool. I can't wait to put him with the rest of my Stormtroopers. Excellent. We'll take a look at Poe here. I believe ODC was saying that this head sculpt is better than the head sculpt on the standard Poe action figure. Said, if you're going to have him in his flight suit, that this would be the head to put on that particular figure, or, this one, obviously. Very cool. The resemblance is pretty decent. It just depends on how they're sculpting these figures. Daisy really doesn't kind of look like Daisy very well. John Boyega, not so much. But Poe here does kind of look like himself. And the reason I'm not saying the actor's name, it is totally escaping me right now. And I don't want to, I'm just being lazy, not wanting to go and look it up, as I don't have my computer and my phone here with me as I'm doing this review. But I like the detailing in here. Some of the Black Series figures are painted very well, exceptionally well, and others, kind of like Rey, is not painted so well. I've seen some custom work done on Rey, and the custom job makes her look so much better. I like the kind of two-tone in the pants, where it looks like it's kind of worn here. So I don't know if this is kind of like a flight jacket or a bomber jacket, if you will. They got his 5 o'clock shadow done very well. I believe this is the outfit that he is wearing in the trailer that Kylo Ren is kind of using, the Force on him, or using like a mind torture type thing on Poe. So maybe that's why he is with the Riot Trooper. This is how he gets captured. So again, very, very cool. The head does go side to side. Can not really look up and down very much at all. Ever so slightly. Probably not actually. I'm probably just forcing it more than anything. But doesn't really tilt, just more left and right. The jacket is pliable, much like a cape would be on a superhero. So you could essentially take this off. Which he would look weird because he would have the two-toned shirt sleeves, which this is supposed to be painted for his, jacket, obviously. As I dropped his blaster rifle. Arms go up at a 90 degree rather well. They go all the way around. Jacket doesn't get in the way. Single bend at the elbow. A swivel at the elbow. A rotation in the hand. A little stiff. A pivot at the wrist, the mid-waist twist, no ab crunch. It's a slight movement that's probably really not meant to be there. Can do the splits pretty well on the Hasbro kind of like T-joint type of joint there. Has an upper thigh cut, which I'm really off frame here. I apologize. So if I get back into the legs there so you can see that. Upper thigh cut, a double jointed knee. I think it's probably been the biggest plate for a lot of Black Series figures that I think a lot of us would like a double jointed elbow rather than this this elbow joint. I'm not a big fan of. We got a nice double jointed knee. I would love a double jointed elbow. You can get so much more posability, especially if you've got stormtroopers and you want to get them holding their rifles. It'd be a lot better to do so. Has no boot swivel. Has a really pronounced ankle joint, and of course the rocker. Let's get Poe standing here. I dropped the blaster rifle. Kind of the oversized blaster rifle. And here is this. Kind of see it in close up. Really good detail, and it's not kind of chinsed out. It's not just a silver that it's painted. You can kind of see some gold or copper, and the silver is more like a gunmetal too. It's bent. So not that it's going to be a big deal breaker or anything. A little hot water and even just kind of playing with it right here, you can kind of straighten it out rather well. So he holds on to it fairly well. It's not, again, it's not the best for posability. I'd love to be able to get this arm in here. To be able to have him pointing it out, towards you. You can't get the other arm. It needs to have kind of like a butterfly joint up in here to kind of get this arm to swing around. So you end up more doing it at the side, like, let's try it like this. That's even hard to get it in here. And it's too far away. That's the only thing, to try and get him to where he's holding it. You can kind of see what I'm trying to do here. It doesn't quite work that way. So it's just more of traditional action figure, gun here. Pew, 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 kind of like this. This gun would probably blast him clean off his feet, probably. If it were a shotgun or something like that, I would imagine it has a pretty good jolt to it. But as just for him kind of standing there with it, it looks rather well. So what I'd like to do is bring up the other stormtroopers that I have currently, and we'll see if we can't get Poe captured. And before I do so, I've got his helmet. I had fallen to the floor when I dropped the blaster rifle. So it does go on. looks a little awkward. It's not too bad. So I'm kind of wondering in what scenario he's out of his flight suit and has this. So kind of put it underneath his arm here like he's holding on to it. Like, hey, I'm getting my photo taken. So, okay, let's go get my other stormtroopers and we'll see if we can capture Poe. Oh, crap, isn't anybody watching this? I don't know how this is going to turn out for Poe here. So here are the 4 stormtroopers that I have. I recently just picked up this guy right here, and after a while I'm not going to be able to tell when I picked up who where, but I picked this guy up at GameStop, so there. So now I have 4 troopers. It's kind of one of those, if I see other troopers, I'll probably just slowly pick them up and have a nice little army. I've got 2 snow troopers to review yet, and then I'll get to the big one. I'm sure Chapman Films is out there saying, hey, where's What's-Her-Face? She's coming, dude. She's coming. So that's going to do it here for this review. We've taken a look at a very unfortunate Poe Dameron and a very happy stormtrooper, a Riot, First Order Riot stormtrooper. This is a Target exclusive. I had to track down these guys by going to 4 different Targets, and the number in the 4 Targets that I was looking at, the UPC code for their numbering system on the shelves was off by 1 digit, and they never brought them out to the floor, and I kept having them to go back and check, and finally one of the Targets did go back, and they contacted the other Targets around me and said, hey, they're right, we do have these in stock, but the pegs that they thought were this particular item was one of the little miniature like TIE fighters. So anyway, there'll be more Star Wars Black Series figures for The Force Awakens and some of the other Black Series figures and some classic Star Wars stuff as I continue my countdown of my Star Wars stuff leading up to The Force Awakens. We'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of Rob's Rebellion. We'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, crap! Oh, damn it.